What's up, guys? Welcome back. This is David. I'm Waleed. We're here to inspire man, tell them about our story, and share it as much as we can to give you some inspiration. So today we got Mr. David. Me and him are working on a special project that we'll be announcing a bit later. Very hardworking man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's hard to find people that you can surround yourself that have sort of the same energy and the same input. But I mean, today I just want you to share some of your story. We'll talk about a bit of your mindset, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. All right, well, we'll get started. So I'll kind of take it back from like the childhood of like my upbringing and things like that, and kind of get into an idea of how I got to where I am today. So honestly, I wouldn't say I've got like the typical entrepreneurial journey story. Like some people start from a very, very young age.
Yeah.
Mine, not so much. Like I was born to like immigrant parents here in Australia.
Yeah.
Dad migrated over here from Europe. Mum, she was already here, but the first in the family born here in Australia. And that's a very common thing, like with like I guess my generation of growing up here in Australia, where that was quite common with European parents migrated over from overseas. So with having that, like with having immigrant parents, they typically don't have all the opportunity in the world available to them for professional careers. Like even though my dad had a degree and a high degree for economics and things like that, he wasn't actually able to pursue that career path of his choice here in Australia because one, he couldn't speak English properly or couldn't read or write. So as a result, he had to take like that hard-working, blue-collar, tradie route. Like he was a tiler for, I can't remember how many years now, but like whatever it was. And he did breaking work. So working 7 days a week, constantly, like almost 16 hours a day, 20 hours a day sometimes.
Crazy.
Crazy hours. Like, but he did.
Ethnic parents are fucking hard workers.
Dude, like
They take it to the next level, bro.
Next level's an understatement. But honestly, like we've even got some like tradies who work for us now, like in their like 60s and 70s, who work harder than most people I know, in their 20s. But we're going to that in a moment. So growing up, I always saw my dad working hard. Mum also worked as well, not necessarily as like a back-breaking job, but like did a lot of work in. I think she was working in the banks when I was younger, and the casinos and things like that. As a result of that, and having European parents like here in Australia, it's a completely different mindset, especially if they did come from overseas. The schooling and education is a very, very important kind of aspect of their lives. Like they always want you to be very, very well educated. And as a result of that, like growing up through my childhood to my teenage years, getting me prepared for like university and stuff, I was directed to take a path of academia and some kind of professional career, so that I didn't have to go through that back-breaking, hard-working labor job, which my dad had to go through when he was younger, or when I was younger. So growing up, I didn't necessarily have that like struggle. We had a comfortable life. I wouldn't say an amazing life, like during my like younger years. We had a reasonably comfortable life. But in saying that as well, my dad was also quite very, very actual ambitious, because he came from literally nothing, like from an actual village in Serbia. Migrated out to here to Australia when he was 25, couldn't speak a word of English, and then built everything from there.
Wow.
Yeah, like it's really inspiring to see like from where he started to where he got to, then where everything went wrong, and now where we are actually at now again. So he was always very entrepreneurial, very kind of driven to actually achieve greatness. So growing up, like even when we were in Adelaide, we did have one or two other extra properties, as well as what he was doing as a trade job to actually build, flip off, make money for that way. And it's a very common path which a lot of people try and take here in Australia to actually make more money. Not necessarily the way that we did. Like most people take a bit more of a slower approach. Also depending on which circles you hang in.
Yeah.
But I think for like the most common people, they kind of buy a house, live in it for the majority of their life, and actually kind of live off the equity of that house and maybe buy one, two other properties. We had a different approach. We were kind of buying, flipping, constantly working constantly on the go, one or two properties at a time. And then when I got to like my teenage years, I guess where I really kind of started seeing some progression of it all. I actually started accelerating a lot more. So it was about like 3-4 years of living here on the Gold Coast, because we were living in Adelaide initially.
Right.
I actually moved to Europe and actually lived in Europe for a little while. I actually did a bit of schooling in Europe. So as a kid, like I was about 9 years old, I actually had to learn a completely different language from scratch. So I actually went to school.
How fun is that, eh? Oh my God.
Dude, yeah, you know exactly what it's like for me. But you were even older than I was.
Gotta make friends,
Make friends, learn a language. It's a challenge in itself. Like, wouldn't change it for the world. I actually love it. Yeah, I kind of like looking back and going, oh yeah, I went to school in Europe when I was a kid. So you don't get too many people who get to say that. It gave me like this ability to actually learn and adapt quite quickly by going through and doing that. But yeah, so I lived in Europe for a bit and came to the Gold Coast where we're currently living, and that's where we kind of, and after a few years of living here on the Gold Coast, that's where we kind of started picking up the pace. We kind of moved into one house, renovated, sold it, made profit. Next house, same thing. But while we're living at the next house, we actually started doing some building projects as well, and just kind of, that's where the ball kind of for us as a family with our wealth got growing. Now, I'm not sure for yourself, I know like with like myself and like most European families,
do everything together.
We do everything together. Like if it's yours, it's mine. It's mine. It's yours. Like it's a collective. It's not like,
I know what you mean.
There's a lot of blurred lines,
and it's a lot different here in the West. What's mine is mine, and what's yours is yours.
Yeah,
sort of thing.
It's not like. But
I know what you mean. Like with our family as well, it's like what I got is yours, and what you got is mine. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, well, I speak about it like as if it's mine as well, but like we as growing up in that kind of household, and that kind of family.
Yeah.
You end up putting a lot of work into the house as well. Like you're the one doing like some of the labouring or the gardening and maintenance and stuff
Everyone's
like that.
doing everything together.
Everyone's kind of involved in some way.
That's right.
You might not necessarily see the benefit of it straight up, but as a collective, you're all growing. So over like those like mid to late teen years, that's where we started getting the ball rolling. Where we actually started doing more property developments, 2-3 houses. Yeah. Just actually build, sell, and we started growing that kind of capital and that kind of wealth. And then, so that's like I said, late teen. So it was like my late high school years. At the same time as I said earlier on, my dad didn't want that kind of lifestyle for me, where I actually had to work hard as like a tradie, and then suffer for X amount of years to get something. He goes, "Nah, you want to go down to a professional job, go to university, get a career." Get that 9 to 5, and that's it. And that is a very, generally like a more European, old school European kind of mentality of actually in Europe when you're actually living there.
That's right.
But when you migrate here in Australia, it ends up being slightly different, where we work hard now, set yourself up for later so you can actually live a more comfortable life down the line. Yeah. And that's obviously what my parents wanted for me, but down the line didn't actually work out that way. So graduated high school, and I actually applied to go to university. I actually applied to law at Bond, and actually science to get into dentistry down the line, because I had to do like a bridging year. I actually got accepted into law at Bond University as well as science. Actually, early on, I was faced with two decisions of which way do I want to go. But my path or my decision was always the dental route. It made more kind of sense for me financially and professionally. Like I think I enjoyed it a lot more. Yeah, wasn't too keen on the law side. And same thing with like that kind of European background. They want you to be doctors, lawyers.
Maybe all three.
You can all three. They want you to be the top tier professional. They don't care about anything. They got this mentality of like they want to be able to kind of brag to their friends of like, oh, look at my son, he's doing.
Did you see what David is doing? He's a lawyer and a doctor now.
Exactly. It's like this kind of. But they want no bragging right on what they've been.
For ethnic families, it's like a pride thing, you know. Like
massive
if you fail and like you're not doing much with your life, they're sort of like. You know, you're just that kid in the background, you know what I mean? And I still love you and stuff, but like, you know...
Not as much.
You should have fucking done that, you know what I mean? You did the jandle to the head.
When you're looking and when you're not looking. PTSD, bro. PTSD on that one. So I obviously went to university and started going down that path of getting a professional career and things like that. Same time, though, that's when property in the Gold Coast was just starting to take off. So this got pre-GFC when property worldwide was just going crazy. Now, we had actually a significant property portfolio at this stage. We actually had multiple properties being built at the same time. We had multiple properties and rental. We had renovations, building, and our own personal private homes. And up to about 2007, 2008, we actually developed a wealth like well into the 8 figures. Yeah. So it wasn't a small amount. And going back like, almost 15 years now. Yeah. 8 figures back then is like
Yeah.
close to like 6 figures, like not 9 figures these days. Not 8, 6 figures,
Yeah.
9 figures these days. It's a significant amount of money, and having grown up in that situation and environment, you view things very, very differently. Like you have like a slightly warped sense of what's normal and what how a success looks like and what it takes to get there. Even though like I did grow up working hard, like I actually did work on those properties. Like every day after school, I was on the property. Weekends, I was on the property, cleaning up, helping, doing X, Y, Z. Even like when I was at university, I actually did some tiling work to just earn a bit more extra money for myself. But having that kind of fortune, like that wealth behind us, I would say fortune, but that wealth behind us, when I was at uni, I actually didn't have to go to work. My dad said, don't worry about work, just focus on your studies. I did my studies, but don't get me wrong, I did a lot of partying at the same time, a lot of socializing, I call it networking, and I did get to meet a lot of people, which is, networking is actually a very important tool with actually building success. You do need
100%. You need to have the right people around you.
You do need to have the right people around you.
Yeah.
Now, when you're meeting people through partying, you don't necessarily have the right people around you, or for the right reasons, but you do meet a lot of people, and then you can kind of build relationships through that. But yeah, so fast forward, like just around 2008, 2009, if you're unaware, like I'm not sure if people who are watching this are quite aware of what happened at the time, but that's where things around the globe started kind of hitting a tipping point economically, and shit went south. And if you hadn't positioned yourself well and you over-leveraged yourself, or you didn't have cash flow, this X, Y, Z, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. And that's what actually happened to us. Like we didn't necessarily have the best structures in place to handle the increasing interest rates, the slowing down of the property market. We weren't positioned well. Let's just put it that way. We weren't positioned well to actually handle that kind of downfall. And as a result, we did have some contracts in place to actually sell, but they fell through even after going unconditional and actually going to settlement, which has taught me something now in property. It's not done until the money's in your bank. I don't give a shit what anybody says. That contract or that,
start spending the money before you get it.
Do not do that. Like, that's something I'll try and tell people. Don't do that until the money's in your bank and actually have the money. Do not spend that money, because it can go south and go wrong very, very quickly. And if you're down to your last dollar, shit is stressful. Like it is bloody stressful. So we end up having to kind of sell properties at losses and mismanage the finances. And as like I said, family, not necessarily my personal wealth, but the family wealth started going backwards to the point where we actually ended up losing everything. And having kind of grown up in like your mid to late teenage years and having houses which are getting bigger and bigger and bigger, like, and I'm talking about multi-million-dollar mansions, you get comfortable to a certain kind of lifestyle, a certain kind of way of living and comfort level. And it's not something you can actually explain unless you've actually gone through it. Like,
what did you learn from comfort? Do you think?
From a comfort, honestly, nothing. Absolutely nothing.
There's no growth there, right?
None at all. But I think, fortunately for me, I was grown up in that migrant family where I actually had to help out and work as well. That I had a very hardworking mindset and actually had those qualities or the characteristics instilled in me of actually putting in hard work and effort to achieve a result. Like even with my academia in school, like I said, ethnic parents again, you're pushed to be able to get top grades. And I remember like weekends, my dad would be like, right, downstairs to like the study or where we had our desks and stuff, write me a 1-page report on whatever topic you want, and I'm going to grade it afterwards. Looking back now, my dumb ass didn't realize my dad couldn't actually read and write English. He would grade it afterwards.
He's fucking with you.
He was fucking with me. He
didn't even have AI.
He didn't even know.
Grade this.
None of that. So it's only reflecting on that, like in the past couple of years, I actually realized that. I'm like, oh, shit, okay, whatever. But in saying that, like it taught me hard work. It taught me that if you put in effort, you can actually overcome anything and I'll get a result. If you put in work and effort, you'll get a result.
That's right.
And no matter what. So if you wanted a good grade in school, yes, I fortunately was somewhat gifted in academia and actually did pick up things really, really quickly and really great memory, which makes it a lot easier to remember anything you learn. But at the same time, I knew that if I wanted to kind of get a higher grade, I had to put in some kind of work. And that was also apparent to me when I was at university, where for a lot of the time I actually didn't try. Like I was present, I was at lectures, I was taking some notes, but I wouldn't
Going through the motions.
Going through the motions. I wasn't really studying hard either until I actually failed one of my courses, which was health law and ethics, and I actually had to get put back. I wouldn't say put back, but held back until the next year because the way the dental kind of program was set up, because I actually ended up graduating as an oral hygienist. The way that program was set up is that you can't move to the next semester unless you pass the previous semester, like every subject. You couldn't, even if you failed one and said I'll do it like next year, like no, you have to pass everything
and then move to the next one.
semester. So semester one, I failed. Semester two, sorry, I had failed. So I actually had to go back and wait for the following year to actually retake that course.
Damn,
it was a nuisance, but it is what it is. But as well, I didn't. Like I said, I wasn't applying. I was burnt out because I was just going out socializing constantly. Like I said, from comfort, learned nothing. Absolutely nothing. I was out like every night of the week. Drinking most nights of the week, partying most nights of the week. Because I had the means to. I didn't necessarily care. Like it was like whatever. I was like fortunate that everything I wanted in life just came to me. And that also kind of messed with my head as well. Like having that kind of mindset and mentality that even if I don't try, it's just going to come to me. Or it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Whatever.
I know what you mean.
I got into a very comfortable kind of position. Until literally life slapped me in the face with one, failing that course and having to redo it and actually go, okay, actually, if I want to pass this, I actually have to try. And when I actually applied myself, I went from like a high kind of passing grade to like a high distinction, like overnight. And it wasn't even that much more effort for me. Like I just had to like say an extra
just do what you're supposed to be doing.
Do what I'm supposed to be doing. Maybe just like a little tweak here and there. Like we said last week, sometimes just takes that little tweak, that 1-2% extra can make all the difference in the outcome of your life.
100%.
And as soon as I did that, just took off in like my grades at university and just took off again. I had those grades in high school, like when I was studying in high school, especially with maths. I actually was like the top of the grade in maths in grade 11 and 12. So like I said, I was fortunate that I was quite gifted in the way I learned, and just adapt, and that's a natural ability I think I've got, where I just adapt to struggles.
Sponge learning.
I'm sponge learning. It's like you teach me, like done, like cool, whatever, I've got it. So failed that, and then a year or two later, that's when we that's around the time when shit was hitting the fan financially with our family. And it wasn't just like an immediate thing, like overnight, like bankruptcy. Like it was a slow progression down. And because we made our money through property, and that's how we actually earned our money, if you couldn't get money to finance to actually do anything, we wouldn't do anything. So it was just like a slow progression down backwards. And it was weird that like one of the things, my dad actually took off at one stage, and me being the eldest son of the family was like, shit, okay, I'm the man of the house now.
Gotta step up.
It's all on me. Like, and I think that's where it kind of, like that, I was saying to you before, I had a switch, just which way I was like,
I know exactly what you're talking about. You need to step forward.
And
you gotta do what you gotta do.
You do it. Now, I didn't do it in the best way. Like I said, I wasn't a tradie, so to speak. I didn't really have that kind of drive or that hard work in that sense. Like if you put me in that position now, done, I could do it. Back then, I didn't necessarily have that. It was like just around the time when internet businesses were starting to kind of pick up again as well. But at the same time, I wasn't around the right people. Being around the right people will make a huge amount of difference in your life. If you don't have the right people around you with the right mindset, right drive, you're going nowhere. Like my friends were not that kind of people at the time.
You can't share ideas with them. You can't do nothing. You know, as soon as you say something, that someone will stand up and be like, "Oh, why do you want to be doing that? Just relax." And
Not even that. It's just more like a consumer spend mindset. It's like, oh, who cares? Whatever. And honestly, at the same time, we were actually going to the casino a fair bit. Same thing. I'm good with numbers as a result. So,
I think you told me about your casino days, huh?
My casino days were wild. Like, I was good with numbers, so I actually kind of started hustling. I wouldn't say hustling, but playing blackjack. And I was quite good at it. Because I understood the odds of certain cards coming out, so I could actually play basic strategy and go, okay, these cards are coming out. I can play to my strengths of hitting this, and this. And I was doing a few $1,000s a week gambling at one stage. Now, in your early 20s, when you're actually not actually working or just starting to work, a few extra $1,000 goes a long way.
It does,
And not necessarily for the right reasons either. So my partying ramped up again. Like it was like a bad mix.
It's like
trying to help family, but at the same time, I was like, oh, cool, I got all this money now. I can do what am I going to do with it?
It's like Danzerian, huh? That's like
Bilzerian.
Banzerian.
Yeah, honestly, it is. It is.
Started gambling, started partying, the girls.
No, like if you go to my private Instagram or my Facebook, it's a lot like that. We had. This is when you couldn't dance on tables on the Gold Coast.
Yeah,
we had one of the clubs. We had the back booth. It was my booth. I'd rock up and they're like, David, would you like your booth? Like, get it ready. Give me 2 bottles of vodka. Get me this XYZ.
Yeah.
Let's go. I even remember one of the nights I gave a waitress. I go, here's $100. Go find me 5 pretty girls. I couldn't even be bothered doing it myself. Like, just find me some girls and bring them over here. She's like, okay. Like, what do you want? I go, just pretty. I'll take care of the rest from there. By the end of that night, we actually had like, I think like spent like $6,000 like on just booze that night.
Yeah.
We had like 20 girls with us. It was like me and 3 mates and 20 girls. It was just stupid.
That's literally what I was just saying. What we were saying before. Sometimes when you're that frontier male, performing well in your life, the females will just jump on your way. You know what I mean? They literally just jump on your way. You know what I mean?
But if you do it for the wrong reason, or if you have you made it for the wrong reasons, it doesn't last, and it doesn't last.
No.
And as a result, like I said, the money was coming through from gambling, which is never a good strategy to actually build wealth. And obviously, I had my dental career at the same time, but we're still going through the struggles financially with the family. And I think that my partying was actually probably a coping mechanism to actually deal with that. It's like this side of my life is just crumbling, absolutely crashing and burning. Like having everything ripped away from you to having like I said, multi-million-dollar mansions, multiple cars in the driveway, jet skis, whatever, to having to go rent now, not understanding where your next move necessarily is. It messes with your head.
Yeah.
Until then something kind of funny crashed and burned. Like we're about to like absolutely be kicked out of like our own home and things like and be homeless. And like another switch went off. It's like, okay, you got to pull your head out of your own ass now, or else your entire family is on the street. Like I said, fortunately for me, like I did have a high-paying career job, and I did want more from my life. My means weren't necessarily being there to actually achieve that, or my approach wasn't necessarily the right approach at the time. But because I could kind of self-regulate and reflect on things, I could kind of go, okay, this is what it is. This is the chessboard. This is how I was looking at it right now.
Yeah.
I love Tate's chessboard analogy. It's perfect.
It's perfect.
If you can actually look at yourself on the chessboard and where you actually are in the moves which have been made to that point, and you see yourself in trouble, it's like, okay, that's the board currently. And you can go, okay, let's take a step back and actually view it for what it is. Where do I need to change? What do I need to approach?
What's your next move?
What's my next move?
Yeah.
I need to move this pawn here, move this rook here, move this.
Sometimes you got to sacrifice.
You got to sacrifice certain things.
Like you got to sacrifice something or someone, and you got to put them forward. That's it. I need you out of my life because it's going to help me move forward.
And like you said, like in the last episode, like about your journey, like where you go monk mode or ghost mode for and you cut people off.
Yeah.
I had to start doing that like rapidly. It's like, okay, these great guys are great. My friends are great, but they aren't allowing me to progress to where I really want to be in life.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, cut here,
you have to.
and just draw back. I was like, oh, come on. No.
Yeah.
Like, I need to get this done.
Yeah.
So I'd pick up. So this is like when I was working about 3 days a week at work because hours were cut as well because we're losing patience and it wasn't great. But then I'm like, okay, I need to level up. So I leveled up at work by improving my skill set of what I was actually able to do. I became better at my job where I was treating patients and actually patient retention. And as a result, I even asked for more hours at work because I'm like, okay, what's one way that I can actually get more income? It's like, okay, this is my job. 1, level up to actually earn more money. 2, ask for more hours. So I took a step back, asked for that. They said, yep, beautiful. Here's from 3 days to 4 days. Perfect. After another 6 months, a year, like, can I have more?
Yeah.
Ask for more responsibility. I took on more responsibility for myself to make myself more valuable to the organisation I was working for, so I could actually then earn more as well. So it made it harder to get rid of me, and I was more valuable. So when you actually do that, like you become harder to get rid. You get harder to replace. It's like, why would you replace this person when they can do X, Y, Z, or this person can only do X? If you can do X, Y, Z,
that's right.
And earning just a bit more than person only doing one thing. Because it's not comparable.
It's like the analogy of doing the one more rep or one more step. You know what I mean? Like, and when you're doing that little bit extra, like you said, it helps you like stand up, be the unicorn. So it's harder for them to get rid of you. If the choice was there, they're going to get rid of the other person.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big problem, because I was talking about it the other day with a friend, and he has a lot of employees, and he was saying, he's like, mate, he's like, the biggest problem I have with these employees is they only do what they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
And I get that. You turn up to work, but don't complain when you don't get more.
Exactly, yeah.
Don't complain when you get a pay rise. Don't complain because you have a shitty job. Don't complain because you're not doing more.
I can understand the argument as well. If they do that one more, then obviously get overlooked. Yeah, 100%. That's unfair. That's a rort. That sucks. But if you do want more, you need to put in the effort to actually get that more. If you don't appreciate the job, by all means, go somewhere else and find someone who does appreciate you and will pay you more. So I put myself in that position where I was actually earning more, and actually gave myself the ability to leverage that. As well as that, I had to look at certain things in my life where I could improve. So finances was one, where my spending was going was one of them. And okay, these are all holding me back. I had to make necessary adjustments. And like I said, it wasn't just in social, it was social, fitness, all kinds of areas of my life. So I took a step back, reassessed everything. It's like, okay, this is where I need to improve to get this result.
That's right.
And looking back now, when I was about to kind of quit work about 9 months ago, people were asking me like, "Oh, how did you do what you did?" And I said, I just said what I wanted to achieve, and anything else came second to that. I did not care.
You did what was necessary.
I did what was necessary. That was it. Like, I just blinders on. Here's the path. Go. It was like honestly like a bow and arrow. When you pull back on that bow to release that arrow,
let go.
That arrow's going one direction. That's it. Like, there's nothing.
See, a lot of people for some reason call that selfish, and I feel like if you don't do what's necessary, that's selfish, because you're not becoming your best self, right?
100%.
So, like, for example, but that it's in a fine line with communication. So if you have a partner, for example, and you're a hardworking man, you need to achieve shit. So you're resilient. So for you not to be selfish, you need to communicate. So I'll be like, look, this is what it takes for me to achieve this. It's for us. This is what we're doing. And I'm going to be resilient. Are you there with me or not? If she says yes, okay, let's fucking go. We're going for a ride.
Let me do what I got to do.
Let me do what I got to do. You know what I mean? Don't tell me to stop. Don't tell me to slow down. I'm gonna make it happen. It's going to be for us. And but then some people might not communicate that, or might get called selfish. But I think not achieving what you're supposed to achieve and earning or being bare minimal of what you're capable of is extremely selfish.
And another thing with that, like another thing with being selfish, like another thing with a partner is it's selfish on them if they try to hold someone back from achieving what their fullest potential.
Yeah, I mean, I think that comes back to sometimes they feel like that person might overgrow them and leave.
But 100%, yeah.
But that's a bad mindset. But again, like, they need to communicate to each other and like be like, look, this is for us. We're together and grow together. But it's tough, because I think us as men, we go through a lot of shit. Like, yeah, I get it. Like, we're both male and female, but us as males, we got to deal with a lot of stuff. And and females talk to each other about what they're going through. Sort of. As males, we don't. We bottle up and we deal with it. And we got to step up and we got to do all these things. So I think for us, when we have like partners, we want that feminine energy to come back to calm our shit down.
That was my best relationship ever, when someone was actually just feminine.
That was my longest relationship. Like, that was my longest relationship. And like, she was just feminine. She was gentle. I'd come home. She was peaceful. She was smiling. Everything was calm. And she calmed me down when I was home. Like, it was cool. Like, you know what I mean?
There's a sense of peace. And when you get that peace, you have more clarity on what you want to do.
Yeah.
And you actually think.
And she becomes your yang, you know what I mean? Like she becomes your yang, and like, okay, so with everything that you're going through, and you come in with her, and it becomes peaceful. You know what I mean? It becomes beautiful.
And it becomes a proper union. And that's what you want as well.
But if you come home to someone that's like, let's say, a masculine woman, and you get home and you're like, you're just dealt with fucking this, that, and you're 10-hour day, and you got to go training soon, you got to do this.
That's chaos.
You come home to her.
That's chaos.
And she's like, yo, we gotta fucking, you know, and it's like, whoa, you know what I mean? Like, calm your shit down. We're not doing this. So I don't feel like, look, get your like get your hustle done. Like every woman, like they're gonna get the hustle done, do it, like whatever. But
Actually,
like
I love girls who actually have like some kind of business as well for themselves. Like, you
do your thing, yo.
100%.
Like get it done, but just understand that high priority man or high achieving man, the high valued man, they want feminine woman because with masculine energy clash. It's simple as that. We need masculine with feminine energy, so then we can actually yang together. And it's just one of those things, like you can't change it. We call it passport bros, right? The men that are leaving the West to go to the East or to go to the Europe, etc. And they get in feminine women and they're bringing them back because they feel like they can't get that here anymore.
Oh, 100%.
Like it's just, I don't know. It's
I think definitely probably a lot worse from what I see in America, but there's those girls everywhere. Like it's like those toxic masculine females. It feels weird saying that.
But why is it? No, I want to say something. Right? No, I want to say something. Why has it become a cool thing or a I don't know how to word this, to say, oh, by the way, I'm a walking red flag. I hope you can deal with it. Who the fuck wants to deal with a red flag? So no, like ghost, no, like you know what I mean. Like
there's a door. Enjoy. See you later.
Why has it become cool? Like why is this a thing now? Like why is this a thing? Oh, I want red flags. Oh, I'm looking for a red flag. Why has this become a thing to be toxic, to be cool? So like I believe in, like, you know what I mean. Like do your part and I'll do my part and we'll come together and we'll achieve abundance. You know what I mean?
Let's build an empire.
Respect me, I'll respect you. You know what I mean? It goes like left and right. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, like a lot of the women these days, they don't police their own shit. So males get frustrated,
of their
right?
actions and stuff.
Yeah. So like you know what I mean? Like I don't. If I'm male, right? So if I'm out with a girl and I'm dating that girl, whatever. If I'm with her, you know what I mean? And someone like tries to disrespect her or disrespect me, I'm doing something about it.
Yeah.
100%. But
it's funny with me. I just like come up next to them and just smile. And they're like, sorry, like, yeah.
No, 100%. But you know what I mean? Like,
it doesn't take much.
But what I mean is, like, also women need to be able to police their own shit to the point where you don't need to do anything. When she puts everyone in their place constantly, that she is your barrier for the bullshit not to come through.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, if you have a woman that just tension seeking and she says she's a red flag and she thinks she's cool and she wants to be a masculine energy and clash with you because she's like, I'm a free boo, I can do whatever I gotta do, you know what I mean? It's like, no. Like chill, do whatever you gotta do, but within the walls of respect of the relationship, and everything works from there.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Definitely went a bit of a tangent there. Definitely went on a bit of a tangent there. We're talking about like being.
Yeah, carry on.
I actually encourage people to be selfish for themselves as well.
You have to be.
You have to be. It's my favorite analogy for that is like being on a plane.
Yeah.
And the oxygen masks.
Yeah.
You have to take care of yourself before you can take care of anybody else.
Yeah.
If you can't take care of yourself, you're of no use to anybody else. You're actually a hindrance to people.
Man,
you can't take care of people if you can't take care of yourself.
That's extremely powerful. I agree with that to the fullest. 100%.
Like
100%.
If you can't get yourself out of your own shit, to get to where you need to get to, how can you help the person next to you achieve it? Yes, okay, not all like it's not all doom and gloom. Like you can still help somebody like, in certain regards, but in the overall sense of it, if you can't be the best version of yourself, you can't be that kind of person to actually take care of yourself. You're just going to be kind of slowing or dragging people back and down. You
have to learn it yourself, achieve it yourself, and then teach others how to do it so they can sustain it long term. Like we said, the analogy with the plane before, there's another analogy with a fast moving river. If you carry in backpacks and there's a boat on the other side, drop your backpacks and cross the river, get the boat and come back and grab everything you need.
I haven't heard that one, but I like it.
So imagine carrying everything like, no, we got this, guys. Get on my back. We're getting across to that boat. You're going to drown and you're going to go down the river.
And you know what I mean? You're good to anybody.
No one, no.
But
so
so I had to figure out, I had to cut like a lot of stuff out of my life to actually get myself onto the right path again to actually achieve what I wanted. So I did have, like I said, a lot of distractions when I was younger, and I gave into those temptations, and as a result, it got me nowhere. So coming full circle, GFC happened, family finally went through the bankruptcy, claimed it. Like I said, fortunately for me, I had a high income job, being a professional. Now, not everybody has that ability, but you can obviously increase your earnings income through other means. I just had the comfort of actually having a high income job. So as a result, I was able to get a loan to buy the house for the family home, so I could move into to live. And it was a complete shit box. Like it was tiny, it was uncomfortable. And that was mentally fucking with me. Like going from a house which was
mansions,
literally 10 times bigger.
Yeah,
actually on footprint
to a shit box,
to an absolute shit box. Like
I love these.
You get humbled quick. You get
humbled real quick. When you lose it, oh my god.
Yeah. So from having even though I still did bottle service every now and again, kind of thing, because you still have that urge to do it, but you do it in a different way. You step back from it. You don't do it as large. So you're kind of there. You're doing it, but you're more hesitant with how you spend money. You're more cautious. You're more kind of mindful of everything you're doing, of any action you take. You become more mindful because you don't want to put yourself in that position again to fuck up. Now, in saying that, now that we've kind of progressed from that. We had that house, renovated it, made it look absolutely stunning, sold it, profited, did another development, another renovation, a couple other moves since then. We have gotten not the same level of wealth back, but some kind of wealth back, which is given me some, I wouldn't say ego, but
sense of fulfillment.
Sense of fulfillment. Like family's in a better position now. We're actually more safe. We can actually make moves again. You get this self-confidence of being able to know that even if you go through that again, you got this. You can come out of it.
That's what you get out of it.
You get out of the other end. In saying that as well, like while I was doing all that, I wasn't happy with where I was working.
Okay. The professional job. Yeah.
Like it was a great job, and I love my patients, love my people I work with. But being stuck in that 9 to 5 position of the monotony of day in, day out, 7:30, not even 9 to 5, 7:30 a.m. till 5:30 p.m. every day. 5 days a week. In a town 400 kilometers away from all your friends, all your family. One, you have a lot of time to think to yourself, and you actually have to develop a kind of hard shell of being able to, or coping mechanisms to deal with it, because it's mentally fucking. Like most people probably, that's why my friends ask, like, how did you do what you did? It's like just blinders on, get it done. Like you block everything.
Blinders on,
Blinders on, get it fucking done.
Fuck, we gotta move forward.
It's moving forward. It's like, this is what I have to do to achieve what I want. This is where my drive really started kicking in. It's like, okay, I've got my 9 to 5. That's not, even though I was on 6 figures, it wasn't feeling, I wasn't happy. Like I want more, because I want X, Y, Z for my life. I want to be able to drop of a hat, go on a holiday somewhere.
That's right.
Drop of a hat, buy my girlfriend
freedom.
I want freedom. Not just financial freedom, but actual time freedom. Be able to kind of say, I can do whatever I want, wake up whenever I want, do whatever I want, day in, day out, which is what I've fortunately got now. It's fantastic. I love it. People hate me for it, and I'm like, well, look, you've seen what I've gone through. You've seen what I've done. I put in the work. This is why I get to do what I do. You get no right to telling me why I can and can't do this.
That's right.
I tried so many side hustles. I tried everything. Blogs, websites, e-com, forex, crypto, NFTs, all of it. The only thing for me, which now certain things did work. I actually did make money in those things, but there's a certain level of integrity to what I did as well. Like I didn't want to continue doing something wasn't able to have integrity behind the actions. So I kind of dropped back from a lot of it. The forex and crypto trading did reasonably well, quite well, going into a better position. E-com, same thing. And now obviously affiliate marketing, I'm doing that as well. And this is what's allowing me to kind of have this more kind of stable lifestyle momentum to kind of keep progressing forward with the next thing and the next thing, the next thing. But yeah, I had to kind of develop a mindset to be able to tackle everything which I went through in my life. Like that, like you said, that resilience. Resilience is a massive thing when it comes to mindset. If you don't have resilience, you're going to be faced with problems and you're just going to crumble.
Most of the time, you don't feel like doing it, man.
Oh, that's discipline and consistency. That too.
Yeah.
Like, and that obviously we both go to the gym. We've worked out quite a fair bit. Like that discipline of, even when you don't feel like it, you do it like you love it. Like I heard that quote from Tyson the other day. That quote from discipline just nails, like, you do it even though you hate it, but you do it like you love it.
Yeah, 100%.
And you get off that couch, you do what you have to do to get what's done, to get what you want done.
I mean, when have you ever felt like not doing something, you got up and done it anyway, and then after you felt like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. Never. You'll always walk out of it and be like, thank fuck I did that. Like, that was perfect.
I will go to the gym at 11:30 at night.
Yeah, I see it all the time. Like, you know, I'm literally sometimes in bed, I'm like, oh my God, I'm rant. I look at my phone, David is at the gym. I'm like, what the
doing a 13-kilometer bike ride after a full 2-hour workout.
You know what I mean? Doing 200 kg deadlifts at 12 o'clock at night. I'm like, bro.
I didn't get to the gym during the day. I have to get it done. And mentally, it fucks with me if I don't go.
Yeah,
like,
fucks with you. Yeah.
It's like, I'll be sitting there like, no, this is bullshit. I'll just get up and go.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, you just, it's one of those things, man.
I've even been on a date and had a drink or two on a date. Date ended, cool, whatever. She had to go home, do whatever. I'm like, all right, sweet. Haven't gone to the gym yet. Go to the gym.
I think we went out not long ago. And after we went out, I went home. I had some food, started relaxing. And then you went to the gym. I was like, fuck this, where's my bag? If he's going, I'm going.
But this goes back to like people around you. If you've got the right people around you,
they
will motivate you to actually
100%.
pull get yourself off your own ass and get to the gym and do stuff, or get busy with work and get busy with trying to succeed in success.
100%. It's so important to have the right people amongst you. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people, they know this, but they neglect it because they think it's not as important because they love the people around them. It has nothing to do with love. It's got everything to do with improving yourself and what you're supposed to be doing. You know what I mean?
Well, there's also an element of lack of self-love there as well. If you can't, if you are holding yourself back just to make the people around you feel more comfortable, you're disrespecting yourself.
And then, because you're not the best version of yourself.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Like, you are neglecting the ability to achieve your truest form, truest self.
Yeah.
And honestly, even some days, like when I wouldn't say slacking off, just procrastinating a little bit more, not doing as much as I probably could, I hate myself for it.
Yeah.
Like, there are some days
because you know you're worth more.
Yeah. Like, even though I do a fair bit of work, like all day, every day, and like I said, I go to bed like midnight most nights because I'm working up until that point, either reading, educating, or whatever. I will. If I haven't done the work, I get pissed off at myself. The next day, I'm up and it's like, let's go. Like, foot to the floor, go.
Yeah.
But
it's just like even me and you when we were training chess at the gym. We were training and you were telling me about how you want to transition from one thing you were doing in life to another thing that you really liked and you wanted to do. And I looked at you and I was like, interesting. Because I'm actually doing this. And I want to build this. And then we were like, should we bring the two together? Because I feel like it'd be extremely powerful.
That's what we're working on at the moment, isn't it? It's like,
and then the next, I think we didn't see each other for 7 days or something. By the time we had seen each other again, we had this thing going. Momentum started building. There's a team in New Zealand, like, putting in work for it.
But even that, like, you're like, what I'm trying to do by September. Like, why the fuck September? Like, let's do it now. Like, you're like, what? Let's do it now. Like, why are we waiting? Let's go.
Let's go.
Like,
and then
obviously, you probably had a few things you kind of had to work through.
Yeah.
But I think when you got a partner with it, working on it as well, it's like, it makes more sense just to work fast.
Work fast, make it happen. And also, a lot of people fail themselves, but they're not able, they put a lot more work to not fail others. If they feel like they're responsible. So, like, this is why it's important to have people around you that push you. Like,
hold you accountable as well.
Hold you accountable, you know what I mean? Like, you said you were going to do that. Are you doing it? Oh, no, why not? Oh, and for me, if I have people like that around me and I pull them up and they're not moving, I start drifting away from them. Like, this is just because it tells me that they're not willing to put in the work for something they want.
Serious about it either.
You know what I mean? So if I'm serious about things in my life and I work so fucking hard, you are not my equal. You know what I mean? It's simple as that. It's hard to say because...
I don't know. I think we've discussed this before, but like when you're working with somebody, yes, I feel bad if I'm not pulling my own weight. It's like, I was like, okay, well, this is our partnership. Like, I got my own stuff. I got to get this done for us. If I'm not holding up my end of the bargain... That's right. Like, I was like, no. I can't disrespect myself or you.
That's right.
By kind of drifting back, like, no. I'm in. We're going. Let's go.
There's so much in motion right now, man. Like, and this is what I'm extremely excited for this. Like, you know, like we're about 6 to 8 weeks away. There's a lot of steps we got to do, And when it does happen, I do feel like we're going to have an impact on a lot of men's life, like, because
I can't wait to impact people's lives and actually help them for the better. Like
100%.
Like as well as like I said, growing up, like as I was going out, like I said, when I was in my university years.
Yeah.
Fortunately for me, like I said, we had a lot of money, so I could do whatever I wanted.
Yeah.
My parents just gave me an allowance.
Yeah.
Plus extra and credit cards and stuff. My friends didn't necessarily have. They wouldn't say necessarily. They didn't have that kind of income to do anything. And I hated the fact that the people around me couldn't do
what you were doing,
what I was doing, or finances were a thing which was holding them back from really enjoying life. It's like, oh, awesome club over there, like all the prettiest girls or whatever. It's like, oh, I can't go in there because I don't have enough money for the cover charge. I'm like, what? Just get in. Just, whatever. You're my friend. You're my boy. Let's go. But I could actually see how it was affecting them mentally and how they felt were carrying themselves after they were inside. Because like, not necessarily couldn't. One, they couldn't pay for the cover charge. Two, they couldn't necessarily pay for drinks either. Now, they weren't actually willing to do anything to kind of get themselves to another level, which is on them.
That's right.
But at the same time, I don't want to be... I want people to be able to kind of enjoy life for what it's worth.
That's right.
Experience anything and everything they want. And like, especially with financially, I don't want the finances to be something that holds them back. Because for certain things, yes, it might be. And there's obviously levels to it. But at a basic level, it shouldn't. Like, you should be able to kind of go... It's like Friday night.
Do simple thing.
Go simple thing.
You and your boys, everyone put in their weight. You know what I mean?
Let's go to the dinner. Let's go for a drink. Let's do this, X, Y, Z. Cool. If people can't, like, I don't want people around me to feel like they can't do something because financially, I want to help them get to a point where they can have that financial freedom. Now, it doesn't have to necessarily be multiple $1 million a year. It could just be as simple as having an extra $200, $300, $400, $500 a week. A couple $1,000s a month or whatever. Some give them a bit more comfort in their life.
I know what you mean. Yeah, it's very tough. Like even like my old friend group, I like to travel. You know what I mean? So like sometimes I'll be like, oh guys, we should do this. They're like, yeah, we'll do it in like a year and a half. I'm like, year and a half? Like, I want to, like, let's go in like 2 months.
Three,
you know what I mean? Like, there's a flight at 4 o'clock.
Bro, my bag's back. Let's go.
But now I'm actually surrounded with people that actually can do that. Like, I was talking to my friend Zach the other day, and then he was like, we were saying something about overseas. Something. He was like, Habibi, let me know the day. I'll book it. Let's go. You know what I mean? It's one of those things. Like, it's exciting. You know what I mean? Like, I was with my boy Nick the other day as well, having dinner. He came to the gym to drop off the jacket, and I was just finishing my workout. He was like, oh, what are you doing? I was like, oh, I got a couple of sets to do. And he goes, forget that. He's like, pack your bag, let's go for dinner. I was like, done. So I packed my bag, we went out for dinner, we're having food, and then he was talking. He's like, I'm going to go to Vegas, I'm thinking about going to Thailand, doing this. I said, oh, me too, I'm going to do that, I'm going to Dubai. And he's like, and it was just like one of those things, and he was like, oh, I might just come with you, like, I'll come and do that. It was just one of those conversations. It's exhilarating, it's fun, but you know what I mean? That's why it's important for you. This is where it's also important. So, for example, if you're a low-performing male, and there's a group up here that's performing quite high, and you want to be hanging out around them, you can't be. Your actions will accept you in their group through your actions.
100%.
Not through what you're earning, because you might still be a brokey. But it's okay. So
it's a mindset thing.
Your mindset and your actions will let you inside that group. Now, when you're inside that group, you'll start feeling uncomfortable because the freedom they have and how they spend, the way they do things. You'll start thinking, how the fuck are these guys living this way? Start asking questions, start learning about money, start doing all these small things. Those things are going to get you to the next level. And then again, those guys are going to be constantly growing.
It's just very mindset about how you get to that next level. It's like all about
100%.
Like, well, speaking of that, like drop of the hat, go overseas kind of thing. Last year, obviously, after I'd finished work, this thing is like, my cousin got married in September. So like about 5 weeks after I actually packed up from work, I had to book tickets to go to Europe in 2 weeks. I had like 2 weeks notice to get to this wedding. If I was still working, I did not have that ability because I couldn't go drop a hat. I'm going to Europe for 2 weeks time for cousin's wedding. I gave myself the freedom to be able to actually have that luxury in life where I can go, wedding 2 weeks time in Europe. Cool, let's go. And at the moment, flights are expensive as all fuck compared to what they normally are. It's like, sweet, dropped the book tickets, took off. I got back from that trip from Europe. 3 days later, I was out at a friend's club opening and with some other mates. And they're like, oh, we're going to Singapore next week. Come. I'm like, God, I just got back from Europe. I'm like, come. I'm like, all right, cool. Now, I didn't actually go because, like, one, the flights just alone to Singapore was like 10 grand. It was just obscenely stupid. Couldn't find accommodation. It just... logistically just didn't work because it was like so last minute. It was like literally I had to like leave again in like 3 days time. Just logistically didn't work. But I had that freedom now to actually go drop a hat, take off. And I wish I did go because one of the guys I was hanging out with who I ended up meeting were hundreds of millions of dollars. And what they were getting up to in Singapore, like they booked a private racetrack for themselves to race cars. Like, it's not unless you get to like that kind of those circles and like I said, you don't necessarily have to have the finances. But as long as you got the right mindset about how you want to approach life and actually how you handle situations and have that drive to want to level up and actually have the action behind it, actually to level up.
That's right. They'll accept you.
They'll accept you.
Yeah, they'll accept you.
They're more than happy to pay for you.
And they're quite smart. You know what I mean? Those people are quite smart. Like I hang out with a lot of them, and sometimes they get leeches. Yeah, they think they're smart, but they can pick them quite quick. They're like, oh, these guys are just here for the free drinks, or these girls are just here for the free drink. But whatever. Like for girls, it's no problem. Like come hang out, have a good time. It's no problem.
I never blame girls. Like, certain girls,
girls, no problem because they bring in something that some other man might enjoy. For example, entertainment or conversations. But for men to do it to other men is very, I don't know, not masculine. It's very like
I feel disgusting myself.
So like we knew a few people that used to do that all the time, and we dropped them in the drop of a hat. We just don't call them anymore. We don't answer the phone to them anymore. But I think as a male, you just need to look at yourself and look at what you're doing, and like we said before, just review, like put it out on the board if you like. What am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? Okay, and pick one by one and start going through them, scratching them out the table. Because I bet you, it's sometimes the people that's around you, it's the actions that you're doing.
And it's not like for me to get to that point where I actually was able to make the changes necessary. It wasn't an instant overnight thing. It took me years to kind of get
Patience.
Like I said, patience for the last episode. Now, one of my mates actually, like I was making progress, but I was still holding myself back because I was going out and spending stupidly and saving amounts of money. My mate pulled me up on my actual birthday while I was drunk as fuck. Like in the middle of the night. He goes, dude, how badly do you want to get up to the Gold Coast? Like, because obviously you talk about it. Your actions are there, but they're like here, but not there. You need to be here still. And I'm like, you're 100% right. Like, and you have to be honest with yourself as well, like with where you are, with what you're doing, and with where you're going with life. If you want that kind of outcome, that kind of achievement, or that level of success, you have to look at yourself objectively and go, okay, this is what I'm doing at the moment. This is where I'm going wrong. I got to make the adjustment again. And it's going to be a constant adjustment. It's not going to be, okay, what made an adjustment once, done. Some people that can do that. In some things you can do it for. Other things, you can't. You have to do it over and over again. Like I remember when I was in my early 20s, like when I was still studying, when the financially, family-wise, was starting to kind of get haywire, I actually had to get a job. I'd save like a month or two, like get a few $1,000s in the bank, go out one night, and the habit was back again. It's actually breaking those bad habits and that kind of that chain, like that kind of sequence of events to actually get yourself into that kind of mind frame again.
Amazing, man.
Yeah, thanks, man. But I'm definitely looking forward to what we've got, what we're working on, and I think a lot of people who are probably in a similar position or do want more for their life, and aren't quite sure about the guidance on how to actually get to that level and actually change or approach certain
100%.
Scenarios, they're really going to benefit from what we actually got going on.
100%.
It's not it's not one area, it's like across the board. And they will become the best version of themselves mentally, financially, and physically.
100%.
And in this day and age, even though it doesn't take much to stand out, if you want to stand out, and when you're playing in certain fields or certain levels, you need you got to stack the deck in your favor.
100%. Stack the deck in your favor. Why not?
Yeah,
I couldn't agree more. So it's exciting, man. Like seriously, like day by day, we're getting closer and closer. As much as I want to tell everyone, like I'm just
still gotta keep it a secret, guys. Like, can't tell you just yet.
Like as much as I want to tell everyone, it's just one of those things, man. Like I feel like this app that we're gonna release for people, it's gonna be special, man. Like you know what I mean? Like it's not one thing, and especially it's not just for everyone. You know what I mean? Like it's directed at certain men because we've been through experiences. And we know about this topic, and we know, you know what I mean? We've put each other through adversity. We've been through a lot. We've
you go through like migrating through different countries, and then and being with bankruptcy and stuff like that, and actually having to
just facing all of those things. I think like I hear a lot of stories where men tell me, and they're like, "Oh, look, I'm going through this. I'm depressed." I'm like, hold on. Life has given you all the tools and the energy to use. Get angry and move forward. Like, let's go.
Like, how does that not motivate you to do better?
Like, you've got all the tools. You're angry. You're fucked. You got nothing to lose.
Yeah.
You got a broken heart, and you're gonna sit down and do nothing.
Dude, that's when I do my best workouts,
bro. 100%, man. Like, bro, do something bad to me, I will go beast mode. Like,
thank you.
Yeah, 100%. Like, it's free energy, man. Like, but it's one of those things. It's strange. Like, I don't know how to word this, but I feel like negative energy is more powerful than positive. That's why a lot of people feed on it. But it's how you use it.
There's a quote from a song I've got on my somewhere, and it goes, "If you can use that negative energy
to your advantage,
like, I think it kind of is like to pull you forward.
Yeah,
you're unstoppable. Like,
you're unstoppable.
You are completely unstoppable.
Oh man,
I kind of is like to pull you from behind or push you from the back.
I agree with that.
And you become
a
different version of yourself. And you sometimes do need to go kind of dark and
100%. So it's okay, like 100%. But you have to be able to control your emotions. This is extremely important. Man that can't control the emotions, get angry, lash out, punch walls, whatever. That's not okay. That's not strong.
Bag, but like at the same time,
like going to a boxing bag, whatever. Like I go to boxing and I spar and stuff, and it's never fun. Like I'm always like an urge of like getting angry or whatever.
Yeah.
But I can control my emotions. I get hit in the nose. I get hit in the face, and I'm like, fuck. What's my next move?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I fucked up there. What's my next move? And I think that's where I take that out from fitness and I put it into my mindset, and I put it from my mindset into my finances, for example. I use the same principle throughout the whole 3 pillars.
Yeah.
And I think for us to be able to teach that to others because we implement it to ourselves, it's going to be like priceless, man. Like, it's going to be amazing because
it's going to help a lot.
Like, it's going to help a lot.
It's exciting.
I used to lash out, man. I used to get angry, like if someone like did something to me, but now like through sport and through fitness, when you fuck up, like you just learn, you're like, okay, what's my next move? You know?
It's all about the next move. How to move forward.
Amazing, man. Thank you for today, bro.
No problem,
tonight. Everyone is out partying right now. We're just out here like...
Dude, this is a party for me. I'm enjoying this much more.
100%. That's cool. Thank you so much, bro.
Dude, all good.
Until the next one, huh?
All right, guys. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Don't forget, we'll leave our socials on here somewhere. I haven't figured out where. We're still trying to come up with a name for the podcast and for this, so bear with us as we work something out because we want it to be epic. We don't want it to be... And don't forget to follow us, subscribe, like, do all that stuff, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. And we're going to start talking about more important things where we can actually help you get to that next level.
100%.
Might not be through our program, but as long as we can kind of motivate you, inform you, give you some tools to actually improve your life, then if you want to be part of our program, by all means join, because like we said, we want to impact as many lives as possible to help people level up and become the best versions of themselves, because it's truly 100%. Impactful. It's a great thing when you can actually do that.
Yep.
Until then, catch you next time.
Peace out, team. Thank you.